It's day 29 of the government shutdown, and air traffic controllers are letting the public in on the amount of strain they are facing. The National Air Traffic Controllers Association handing out leaflets to travelers, begging them to help pressure Congress to end the shutdown, while Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy stresses it won't make travel less safe.
I don't think it's going to be less safe. So we work really hard to make sure that if we don't have enough controllers, we will slow down the airspace. Okay. We will shut down flights. It's our job to make sure that you fly safely. Okay. I'd love you to get there on time, but my top priority is that your plane arrives at its destination with you on it and you safe.
Let's bring in National Air Traffic Controllers Association President Nick Daniels and Air Traffic Controller Joe Segretto. Both joined Secretary Duffy at that press conference yesterday, and it's good news to hear from Secretary Duffy that air travel is safe, but boy, it's impacting travel in major ways. Duffy said at that press conference some 44% of flight delays on Sunday were attributed to ATCs. Nick?
It's been an issue that now being thrust into the spotlight. Finally, it's getting seen, what air traffic controllers have been contending with for quite some time. We have only 10,800 certified controllers operating in a system where there should be 14,633. We have 400 less controllers than we did in the 2019 shutdown. That's just putting the strain and pressure on controllers every single day. And then you add this shutdown on top of it. Absolutely, controllers are distracted, they're fatigued. It's unnecessary and putting them in a horrible position. And as the Secretary said, our way to keep it safe when they're stressed out is to slow the system down and make sure the American flying public is safe as well.
And Joe, I was stunned talking to you just before we started here. You missed your first paycheck, yet you're continuing to work.
Good morning. Yes, I did. 6 days a week, a lot of times 10 hours a day.
You're working without a paycheck?
Without a paycheck.
What kind of impact is that having on you, your family, meeting bills?
You know, the pressure is real. We go to work and we speak with people. That's all we talk about. It's a distraction. You go home to your safe place, and it's a distraction there too. Deciding, you know, prioritizing what bills are going to be paid, what's got to get cut, and it's a distraction for your home life.
And you know, Joe, I read where some ATCs have considered getting a second job, be an Uber driver, something like that. But is that even really practical?
It isn't. It's an unnecessary distraction, especially for the younger group of people. Just getting hired, excited about a new job, trying to learn the job, and then have this distraction of, I'm not even getting paid. Is this a job I want to continue in? And it's, you know, for a high-stress job, it's very hard to try to learn that and have these extra distractions, along with the people who are eligible to retire. It affects everybody different. Those people know, I can sit home tomorrow and get a full paycheck.
You know, Nick, Chuck Schumer, Senator Schumer, minority leader in the Senate, was talking yesterday about this. Here's what he had to say. Listen.
Putting blame aside here, what is your strategy to end the shutdown?
Look, on November 1st, people in more than 30 states are going to be aghast when they see their bills, and they're going to cry out. And I believe there will be increased pressure on Republicans to negotiate with us.
What's your message to Senator Schumer?
I'd say air traffic controllers are not pawns. We shouldn't be the rope in a tug of war. We leave politics to the politicians as air traffic controllers, but we're out saying every day in the shutdown now, pass legislation that puts these hardworking men and women back to work, reduces this distraction, and also gives them the ability to do the job of the unsung heroes they are. They move 35,000 flights a day. 3 million passengers, tons of cargo that keeps this country moving. And we're talking about having to have a second job. We're talking about driving Uber on the side and not getting enough rest before your next shift. The issues are only going to mount. There's already hundreds of controllers that are doing that second job, and it's becoming thousands by the minute.
You know, Nick, when you talk about the pressures are mounting, I want to ask you, Joe, honest question, because obviously Secretary Duffy said travel is safe, but is it really safe if this continues to grow?
Air traffic controllers are complete professionals. They go to they go to work and they do the job 100% of the time. If we feel unsafe and there is too much traffic or too much stresses, we will do exactly what Secretary Duffy says and have to request to slow the traffic down a little bit. We will never put the American public in danger.
It is great to hear that, but I think, you know, the sort of human reaction to that is like, gosh, it must be really difficult to keep everyone safe in that tower with growing pressure.
It is, but it isn't, right? We do what we do. We keep the airplane safe. Air traffic controllers love pressure. We just don't love this additional stress that we don't need.
And part of it is you go to work and your focus is 100% on, as Joe said, about the safety of the American flying public. The way that we're having to deal with it and contend with it is, okay, if I have to deal with my bills on a break, I'm having to, go and try to find rent and defer it from the first, because that's here in a few days. That's what our controllers are doing on break, and that aspect alone takes away from their focus. It does. It's a distraction, but we have to mitigate it.
And this could all end if 5 Democrat senators would simply vote to reopen the government. Nick, Joe, thank you for being here. Joe, thank you for continuing to keep our skies safe,
Thank
working
you.
without a paycheck.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.